Hi there, it's Bex from MeasureSchool.com, and in today's video I'm going to show you how to use Google Analytics to set up audiences that you can then use in your Google Ads campaigns for remarketing. Now there's a couple of things that you have to have in place before we can get this set up. Firstly, you have to have Google Analytics already on your website. If you want to find out how to do that, check out one of our other videos. You also have to have your Google Ads account, and finally, you have to make sure that you are signed into your Google Analytics account and your Google Ads account using the same email address. If you have all of those things in place, let's get started. So what we want to do, now that we're in Google Analytics, is link our Google Analytics account to our Google Ads account. To do that, you want to make sure you're in Admin, and then you want to make sure you're in the right Google Ads account, Google Analytics account. Then you want to make sure you click Google Ads linking. Once you're in there, you'll see a window like this, and it'll ask you to select your Google Ads account that you want to link to. So if you're not sure, head over to your Google Ads account and look for this name here. Look for this number here. Now, whatever this number is here, you want to make sure you select the same one in Google Analytics. So we're going to click there, and then we're going to press Continue. We're going to give it a name. I'm going to leave it as Demo. However, for you, you might find you have a naming convention or a specific name you want to give this. Then we're going to turn on All Website Data, and then we're going to click Link Accounts. As you can see here, it's going to take up to 24 hours for these accounts to link, so you might need to come back and do the next steps in a day or two. Now let's click Done. The next thing you want to do is you want to actually enable Google Analytics for remarketing. So we need to come over to here, Tracking Info, and come to Data Collection. So in order for Google Analytics to collect data for remarketing, we need to toggle this on. And this is basically going to enable, as it says here, a collection for display and search marketing. There is also now an advanced setting to allow for ad personalization. Now, depending on what country you're in or your target audience, you may have to adjust this. You can actually come in here and adjust toggling on or off for different countries. Now, once you've turned this on, and if you are required to make any sort of changes to this, you can hit Save. Now we're ready to go and head into Google Analytics in more depth and start to build our audiences and sort of check out that side of things and see what's already available to us as standard that we can use to import from Google Analytics into Google Ads for remarketing. So let's head down here to this little arrow, click on it, head over to Audiences and go to Overview. Now this page here is just, as it says, an overview of all of our audiences. So if we actually come up to all users at the top here and we click on it, we actually have a ton of already built-in segments. And these can be really useful when it comes to setting up remarketing audiences in Google Analytics. So we might want to have, say, something specifically came from a Facebook audience or a direct audience, or in fact, just all users. So if you have an audience here that you'd like to use, come over, click Actions, and just click Build Audience. So from here, we can see we already have our view that's automatic because this is the view we were in. And then we have our audience definition. As we selected all users, this is what we have here. We can now select our membership duration. This is basically how long you want a user to stay in that audience. We can have it 30 days or 90 days, and in fact, you can have it from anywhere from 1 to 540 days. For this, we're going to stick with the 30-day audience, and I'm going to give this a name of all visitors 30 days. And then we're going to click next step. And once we've done that, we're going to click here and pick where we would like our audience to go into. And I also want to send this just for myself back into Google Analytics. This is our Google Ad account here, and this is obviously our Google Analytics. And once we've done that, we can publish. Once we've saved that, you can see we have this window here. It's now 3 green ticks, so we know that everything is set up. One cool thing to mention here is that it actually has already given us an estimated display audience size of nearly 5,000 from the last 7 days active users. Obviously, this number will vary from website to website depending how long your Google Analytics has been on there, and also more importantly, how much traffic is coming to your website. So now let's head over to our Google Ads account, and just to show you how this audience has actually gone into Google Ads. So we're in the Audience Manager here in Google Ads for the account that we just linked. To get there, if you're not sure, Tools and Settings and Audience Manager, and make sure you come to Audience Lists. Now, as you can see here, this is the audience we just created. Now, don't be too concerned when you do this immediately if you see 0. It does take 24, sometimes up to 48 hours for these audiences to actually populate in. Now we've set up an audience using our already available audiences that we used here. Let's head back over to the Audience and Overview, and again, let's click on All Users. So just a moment ago, we created a remarketing list for all users using Google Analytics. What you can also do is you can create a new segment, and you can actually create more granular audiences. So here we are, and for the purpose of this video, I'm going to create an audience using data that has been pooled into Google Analytics from Facebook. I was able to do this because inside of my Facebook ads, I use UTM parameters to allow that data to actually be imported to Google Analytics. You might be doing the same, and if not, you can play around with this tool to see what more granular audiences you can create. But for this, I'm going to show you how to use the Facebook audience. So I'm going to head over to Traffic Sources, and you can see you can select by campaign, medium, source, keyword. And for this, I'm actually going to use the sources function. However, because as I mentioned, I'm using UTM parameters to import into Google Analytics, if you come out to campaign, all of the campaigns I have running are actually populated here. If I wanted to, I could create a specific audience based on a campaign, but as I mentioned, we're going to use the source, so I'm going to click from Facebook. Now, I want to give this a name. So I'm going to call this Facebook source traffic. And if you click this preview button here, if it doesn't already populate, it will actually give you a summary. So here, 52% of users, that's 2,000, over 2,000, are actually going to populate this segment. So now we're going to click Save. And then we're going to now come back up here. And as you can see, it's created a whole segment of my Facebook source traffic. And this time I'm going to select again, Build Audience. And again, here we get back to this view that we saw earlier. And you can change the membership duration. For this one, let me change it to 60 days. You can amend the look back window. It's going to basically let you look back and evaluate the behavior for qualifying users. So I'm going to say in the last 30 days. And again, going to give it a name. And click Next Steps. Again, I'm going to select our Google Ads account, and I'm going to send it back into Google Analytics. Although you don't have to. Actually, maybe this one I just send it into the Google Ads account, and I'm going to click Publish. Okay, so it's told us that our audience was successfully created. Let's head back over to Google Ads. Let's just refresh this. And there we have it. Again, don't worry, it will take a little time to populate. That's it imported in, and the actual visitors will follow. Okay, so that's us done. That is a hopefully useful and brief tutorial on how to set up audiences for remarketing inside Google Analytics, how to import them from Google Analytics into Google Ads, and obviously the very first step we took, which was actually connecting our Google Ads account to our Google Analytics account.
Alright, did you enjoy this video? Then let us know in the comments down below. And if you also have any questions, put them down there. And you haven't yet? Well, you should. Subscribe to our channel right over there, because we bring you new videos just like this one every week. Now, my name is Julian. Till next time.